believe going forward, parastatal chiefs should not be in a position to use their offices to advance their private businesses. Those in the arena of road traffic regulation, kama tumeambiwa hapa, should not at the same time be players in the industries that they supervise. And in line with the proposals made by this forum, I am today directing the Honorable Attorney General to prepare a bill that will address the question of conflict of interest and unintended consequences that arose from the Degwa Commission report of 1971.
How practical do you think that is?
I think the spirit of it is right. I think, and that's a place to start. The spirit of it is right in the sense that a lot of the problems that we have in the abuse of the procurement processes arise from conflict of interest by civil servants who are particularly senior civil servants who are engaged in business. But I think the only problem is that you would hardly find today a civil servant who is directly involved in these processes. A lot of people operate through proxies, through relatives, through shadow companies. And so if you approach it from the position of just the formal refusal of them to engage in business, I mean, it's not going to solve much because there are ways in which you can go around that law. And let's not forget that the reason the way we got here is through proposals that were made in the 70s, I mean, early 70s, that looked at this question, in its broader perspective. And that is what you want to deal with is conflict of interest. From where I sit, we have enough legal instruments today to deal with the conflict of interest issues. If you look at the Public Officer Ethics Act, if you look at the Leadership and Integrity Act, they're very extensive provisions. The Procurement Act, you'll find a lot of provisions in the law that would actually reduce that problem. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it hasn't been reduced means our problem is not a problem of more law, because people find a way to go around the law. So I think it's a good thing, but I'm not sure that it will accomplish much if that is the only issue that one pushes there.
Okay, and if indeed the law is passed, who is in a position to enforce it? Who is supposed to enforce that law?
I would imagine that the institutions that would do it would be the employer, and I imagine in this case would be a process through the Public Service Commission as the disciplinary organ for civil servants. I would imagine that the Ethics and Anti-Corruption institution, because they're the ones that are charged constitutionally with the responsibility of watching over issues of integrity, those will be the enforcers. But don't forget that and that's what I'm saying, even now we have, what are two instruments? We have the Wealth Declaration, which are still there. We have lifestyle audits, which are being enforced. If those are not producing results, because you'd imagine that even if you allowed civil servants to practice whatever business, what you want to know is that they're involved in legitimate business. And you'd be able to do that through lifestyle audits. If that is not working, I am not sure that stopping them from doing business is going to work. You know what I mean? Because the entry point would not be so much as to whether you're making money, but whether you're making money legitimately. I think it would be wrong to say, I can't do any business. I can't even have a cow in my village because I'm a civil servant. What you want is to ensure that I am not making money from government by conflict of interest. And that you don't do by stopping me from doing business. You do by continuous audit of how I spend my money, where does it come from. So that is really where we should be enforcing. From where I sit, not more law.